It is the earthquaking, pillars shaking, podcast listening, leader of the Meat Pop Express, Big Trouble Ben Bishop. And get ready, folks, because you are tuned in to the fastest growing professional wrestling podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Hit him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your cousin, your nephew. It's the Don, Chaz Evans, and I'm here with my stable, the greatest faction in all of pro wrestling podcasts, the 3 Count Podcast debate team. Let me go down my faction. Introducing first, okay? He's not the voice of the faction because that's me, but he's the muscle. All right, he is the man that runs the show because quite frankly I really don't do much. All right, he's the guy that does all the YouTube videos, he does all the Instagram, the Twitter, he does everything. If it's 3 Count Podcast related, he is a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former Kayfabe Junkies champion, he is the Red Dog of Red Dogs, he is the landlord of the Dog Pound himself. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off of a beatdown. Oh, well, he was given a beatdown at NCW. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Dog.
Yeah, buddy. It's Air Force Veteran Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. And it was definitely quite the weekend when Friday night being at Voltage. Thank you again to having me out. And then Saturday at NCW, also thank you again for having me out. It was crazy, man. It was a crazy week.
Yep. But last and certainly, let me make sure I say certainly, not the least. All right, from the depths of hell. All right, he is the super villain. All right, he was there for the very first wrestling match. All right, that first one where it was good versus evil. All right, that very first wrestling match before there were even people, just two like, he was there. Okay, he was there for that. I think the first finish was like a headlock takeover. I think was it Damien or was it? I'm not sure. But anyway, that's him. Okay, he's the super villain. He's the Dark Lord himself. All right, he's Master Xehanort for all my Kingdom Hearts fans out there. Yeah, the old creepy man. That's him. Right, that does not die. All right, even after the third game, he's still alive. Like, how do you give that man a happy ending after we got 9 games worth of confusion and that man still got a happy ending? That's like giving Thanos a good. That's like Thanos walking out of Endgame unscathed after like the whole thing. That's crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, it's the Dark Lord himself, Damien Fatale.
Well, Judas versus Jesus was a 5-star match. Just want to let you know. Judas went over dirty. However, what it do? What's good, people?
Oh man! So
first, you said this man had a happy ending. You're like, how do people have happy? I don't know, man. Ask Robert Kraft. All right, that man, he's a bad guy, and he got a happy ending.
You know what? True that. Then again, you know what? You're right. I'm not gonna go there with that. I totally had something.
I got a happy ending. I got mountains, fresh air, quiet. I got my happy ending.
True that. All right. Damien has been like seething at the mouth all week. Okay. Like, listen, I was dealing with COVID this past week. I'm all better now. For all the people who are hit me up over on social media and asked how I was and checking up on me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like, it was a lot. I didn't expect, like, I put out an angry tweet about how I caught COVID after ducking it for 2 years, and I got so much support, and it was kind of crazy. But so thank you for everyone who did send out your support. But yeah, he's been seething all week.
Wait, I want to throw this in there too, just because so Chaz and I have our own little chat bubble that we're in like all the time. We're talking, and Chaz writes in, "Man, I was really sick yesterday. I had a fever. Was kind of coughing, just like body aches, didn't want to move." I was like, this man got COVID. And he's like, it's 2022. We don't talk about COVID. It's a monkeypox now. Blah, 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 blah. And not even 2 hours later, I get a text message that was like, I got COVID. I was like, nah, man, we don't talk about that. That's 2020. That's 2020 stuff. And he was like, you're not helping. I was like, nope, not at all.
I did. I definitely did say that. I did. Cause I mean, at first, when I first got when I first was hit with it, I didn't, it's not the first thing you expect is like you got COVID, and listen, I've been almost 2.5 years, almost 3 years, I hadn't got it, so I mean, I'm vaxxed and boosted, so I was like, man, I just got the cold, but yeah, that whole ordeal was funny. I definitely did say that COVID was so 2020. It's all about monkeypox. As a joke, because I was in a conversation with my friends and my close circle that I didn't think they would share that, conversation out there on the air. But then again, it's you.
Yo, that was because it was too funny not to share. That shit was so funny. I was like, bro, I was in tears when you wrote me back and you're like, I got COVID. It's like it just felt like you just like ate this giant piece of like humble pie and you're like, I hate every one of you right now.
I was so mad. Listen, I don't think y'all. I was so mad. That test said positive. I was throwing shit. I was livid. I was cussing up a storm. I was so mad.
Which one of these little brats got me?
Yeah, that's exactly. I had to get it from work. I had to. Yeah, I work with kids.
Oh no, kids are gross
too. When I got it because one of the students, right? Because they gave it to Kara gave it to me, and then I was just down. And so I was like, I understood 100% where you're coming from when you were so mad.
So mad.
Funny though, when I got it, it was just like a slight cold. All I was doing was sneezing, on and off fever, no cough. Like I was like actually good. It was almost like a vacation for a week.
That's how I was, because my worst night was Saturday night. Was the worst. That was I had the body aches. I had the body aches, the headache, the congestion, and like a cough and all that. But like by the time AEW came on like the next night, like halfway through the AEW, I was fine. And you would have thought I was perfectly fine. Like I just had the rest of the week by myself. I had a vacation of like nobody. Because my wife and kids dipped. My wife played no games. She said, "Oh, you sick? See you later."
See you later.
Yeah, that's exactly what she did. She said, "All right, make sure you take your medicine, get some rest, call me tonight." And she was gone. I didn't see my wife legitimately in person till Friday. So that was 2 days ago. So, but enough about COVID, monkeypox, wives, and stuff. We're going to talk about some wrestling. That's why you're here. If you want to hear about a podcast about our family, then
we don't have one.
Yeah, we're not going to do another one to talk. Yeah,
that's a lot, man.
That is a lot. Like that's a lot to do. There's a lot to talk about wrestling every week. You want us to talk about our families? Listen, that'll get some of us in trouble. Let's get through some announcements real quick. If you have not already done so, make sure you see those little links, right? Not links, but those little follower handles. Yeah. Social media handles. Follow those. All right. Twitter right there above my finger. 3count_pod. Instagram 3countpod. All one word. Same thing with our TikTok. That's right above Cliff. All right. Make sure you follow us. Okay. Please. If you like the 3Count podcast every week on a Sunday, then you're going to love following us on social media because, listen, we post every day, all right? You can see Cliff's beautiful face every day giving you up-to-date news on wrestling, okay? You'll never miss any wrestling news if you follow the 3Count podcast, okay? Point blank, flat out, period. So make sure you follow us on all our social media sites. Like us on Facebook or Meta, whatever it's called nowadays. Also, if you have not done so, wherever you're checking us out live, whether we're live right now, because we're live on Facebook, on Twitch, and YouTube, hit that subscribe button. All right. I know Twitch hit that follow button, and if you want to subscribe, you can definitely get that ching, and so you can subscribe to us. Also, subscribe on YouTube, comment, like, all that stuff. For all of our audio listeners, all of our podcast listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, podcast.com, wherever you get your little podcast groove on. Make sure you subscribe to us there. Hit us with a 5-star frog splash review off the top rope. and tell a friend about the podcast. Buy a shirt at prowrestlingtees.com. Okay, seriously, buy a shirt, please. Yeah,
Yeah, because if you don't, I will come after you.
he will. Okay, and I'd rather you not be terrorized by Damien. Okay, I've been dealing with it as his friend, so I'd rather you not deal with it as an enemy. So
It is worse.
please buy a shirt. All right, Cliff. What's what we got on the the calendar for now entering the ring?
Yo, let's talk about our great show, that one now entering ring. So you guys have got a lot of cool episodes coming up. I just want to give that heads up because I've been looking through trying to get back on re-editing, and I got to get some more episodes recorded for you guys. But this week in particular, we have some awesome guests coming on. One of those, you find them at AEW Dark religiously now. You find them on AEW Dynamite as well as on Rampage. It is Charlotte. It is Robin. It is the Renegade Twins.
Those the homies.
Yeah, the
Those
homies
the
for
homies.
sure. We're gonna see them this week too.
We are gonna see them this week. Yeah,
Awesome.
at 1CW this week. Yeah, me and Cliff. This is we after our match. Well, after my match. I don't think. Yeah, because Cliff was out there with us, but. We're walking back from the ring, and they're sitting there. I guess they were getting ready for their match that was coming up later. And we just legit got into a conversation about The Rock or Stone Cold. Legitimately. Like, I'm out of breath holding my, that championship belt right there. I'm just holding this belt, and we're just like, yeah, Rock or Stone Cold. Having a full-fledged conversation in Gorilla. Like, people are trying to get back and forth, and the four of us are just having this conversation legit. They're awesome people. If you like them on AEW Dark, if you like them at CCW, then you need to check out this interview. It's definitely dope. So definitely do that.
And then finally on Thursday, you guys are going to get, it's going to be awesome to get to chat with Chris Wilde. You guys can check out that episode as well, especially because when we recorded this episode, it was fresh off of his match with Silas Young. So yeah, go definitely check it out. We talked about, his Raw debut when he was on Raw, and he got to do some work with Ronda Rousey. So definitely go check out those episodes. They'll be out Tuesday and Thursday. And then always, on our TikTok page, you guys can actually check out, and our IG, you can check out the, quick dives that we do where you talk about Raw and SmackDown and Rampage. Usually we try doing the day after. If not, I just fully upload every single one on Monday for the past week. So you guys get all day to check out all the content. So, yep, there you go.
All righty. So
hold on before you go for it. I had a question for Cliff real quick. Where's my episode of Now Entering the Ring?
Ooh, I like that. We'll get it.
All right, cool. Bet. Say less.
that is.
We have done everybody. We have done everybody except the Dark Lord.
It's a good time now that I'm kind of taking a break. You know what I mean?
Everyone's got that.
I have a time to kind of reflect on what I've done. So it's kind of like a perfect time within the next year to kind of do that.
There you go. So, yeah, you guys will see Damien on there as well. Because, we'll talk to him about a lot of stuff that he did.
You talk about the time he ran away and went to Mexico and wrestled.
True.
I just want to hear that. I just want to hear all of it. I love telling stories about Mexico. He knows why. I remember the first time he told me that, and I'm just like, you did what? Because I'm just in awe of Damien and his life.
I've lived an interesting life, man.
It's just So, all righty, let's get down to it. Here we go. All right, listen. The talk of wrestling it's been all week. It has been all week. It started right after All Out, so around midnight, 1 o'clock Monday morning. Let's just say the Twitterverse blew the fuck up. That is the legitimate way I have to describe it for people to understand how crazy this is. AEW All Out happened. Great show as always. It was more or less what happened after the show during the media scrum. Whew, that man, Phil Brooks, went off the rockers, okay? He was shooting. There's only so I wish I should have got the clip so we could have brought it up for everybody to see. If you can find it real quick, Cliff, if you can, to pull it up for people on the screen, if possible. If not, that's fine. But he went off on the EVPs. This is after he beat Moxley, of course. He went off on Moxley, not on Moxley, but went off about the EVPs, Hangman Page, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. There was a good 10-minute, it's probably 10-minute rant, really, where he mentions on Colt Cabana and the situation with dealing with Colt Cabana, mentioning Colt Cabana's mother, and it's just a wild thing that happened, okay? You just had to look at the video to really understand what happened. But we're not going to stop there. After the medium scrum, apparently the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega did not take kindly to what he said, and they approach CM Punk and his locker room about the situation, and it is alleged that
did he get cut off?
I think he just got froze. He went right
there was a
force.
Oh, really? It froze? Am I back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got to start from where you froze at. It was alleged that they.
It was alleged. Okay. It was an alleged fight between Ace Steel, CM Punk, and the Elite. Okay. So there are numerous reports going around on what happened. There's reports saying that Ace Steel threw a chair at one of the Bucks and he was biting Kenny's ear. Another report saying that Kenny was trying to save CM Punk's dog and he was trying to grab the dog to get the dog out the way. It's so crazy. But Wednesday rolls around. Okay, Dynamite starts. Tony Khan comes out there. Well, not comes out, but he does a video and he strips the championships from CM Punk, being the AEW World Championship and the Elite of the Trios title, which is fairly new. They were the first champions, so they were stripped as well. It is reported that all members, all involving parties, are suspended indefinitely,
including personnel too.
Including so Ace Steel. Well, it reports that Ace Steel is gone, but Christopher Daniels as well was involved. Nakazawa, Brandon Cutler, and so pretty much the Elite, right? Plus Brandon Cutler, not Brandon Cutler. I'm sorry. Plus Christopher Daniels and Punk and Steel are not there right now. They are suspended. That is the punishment. So
they got taken off the intro too.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, dude, the Elite and Punk have been taken off the intro.
I didn't even notice that on Dynamite. I didn't even notice that. I'm glad y'all mentioned that because I didn't even catch that. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like they took them off of that real quick.
That's interesting. But here we go. Here's our first debate topic. Was the punishment enough? All right. Damian has been, like I said, he has been foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog. All right. So he called me up and said, I'm going first. So Damian, was the punishment enough? The floor is yours.
All right, so let's look. First and foremost, like, Tony Khan is totally to blame for this whole entire situation. He didn't nip it in the bud when it first became an issue with Hangman. He didn't nip it in the bud when Nick Jackson was like running off at the mouth. He didn't fucking say anything when Punk was sitting there in front of him and making him look like an ass at the media scrum. Like, all he had to do was either A, make sure, like, filter the questions. That's one. And then two, like, if Punk started to go off, he could have easily told Punk either A, go to the back, or B, like, no, we're not talking about this. But of course, he doesn't have balls. My opinion with the punishment, I don't even think he handed out the punishment. Like, I feel like he talked to these guys for an hour and was like, yeah, everything's all good, blah, 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 blah. And then had HR say, oh, yeah, by the way, you're suspended. Because he seems like the type that would do that. Like, he got all hype towards the end of it about WWE. Where was all that energy when Punk was making you look like a bitch in front of everybody? The whole fucking world. So, in my opinion, to be perfectly honest with you, the 4 people that, I guess the 5 people that were involved in the actual fight should have been more than a suspension. So, no, I don't think it's enough. You should have got rid of all of them because they made him look like an ass. Point blank in general. Like, if it was me, yeah, I would have stopped. I would have did that shit quick. Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in my opinion, like, nah, like, that nigga's soft like a Care Bear cousin. He need to give that shit up. Wrestling is not for him at all. Like, you letting people just dog the shit out of you. Jonathan Gresham, like all kinds of people. And you ain't doing shit but smiling in their faces.
And hugging them, man. Don't forget the hugs. He's always, don't forget the hugs. He's got to give him a hug.
The hug, dude. Tony needs a backbone. So, like, if you want somebody to like go in there and set shit right and put all these motherfuckers in line, I ain't hard to find, bro. I got you. I got you, my nigga.
Is that you? Telling Tony Khan, are you willing to work for Khan? Is that what you're saying right now?
Look, he give me enough money, man. I will iron that roster out real quick.
I just want to put it out there from 2020 to now, Damian's stance on AEW, for the most part, has been the same, but he's been going completely left. Now he's saying he'll work for the man.
Hey, look, first of all, money's money, right?
Oh, now we're saying that. You weren't saying that 2 years ago.
Look, money's money. That's one. And 2, I guess now, like, my outlook on wrestling has changed just a little bit. Like, it's good to have all this wrestling. But, like, if you got a fucking locker room that's just atrocious and nobody gives a fuck, like this is getting ready to start turning into WCW.
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump in with this. Do I think that the punishments were enough? No, because I think everybody, if I don't know, I would stand with a locker room that fighting is gonna be a thing that you guys need to do. Especially if you're the EVPs, like, then you probably shouldn't be in there. Like, Punk had it said right, man. He was just like, yo, like, they can't, you're not gonna be able to manage a target if you just, let shit happen. And when you're feeding media outlet, well, like, allegedly you're feeding media outlet like information and stuff that's like not entirely true, like, then you just make your top babyface look like shit when he goes out there and says something, and then you look like shit too whenever you demand an apology publicly out loud in the middle of like cutting a promo, not knowing that this person is really just kind of being a mouthpiece for somebody else. So it's kind of weird to me that that's like the route that Punk wanted to go, but it is what it is. But I think all of them should have just been gone. Like, just get rid of them all, erase the whole thing. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, you still got Jericho there, right? And he's still like on his contract. He's still being a locker room leader. You have Bryan Danielson there. You know what I mean? Like, one of the greatest talents there. You have so much other great talent that you can rely on and kind of lean on and be like, hey, man, can you help us with this? Can you get this? Can we get that? Can we keep this locker room cohesive? Can we keep it a learning environment like we have been? And that roster is pretty deep. So, yeah.
170 people, my dude. 170 wrestlers.
That's what I'm saying. And losing Kenny and the Young Bucks and Punk would be massive for now. But at the end, you still got guys that are going to be coming up, like Sammy. You got Jungle Boy. You've got, Darby Allin. You still got Dr. Britt Baker. You still got all these young talent that's like moving their way up. Plus, you still have guys like Adam Cole coming back, right, from injury. Kyle O'Reilly coming back. The roster will fix itself. Like, you don't got to worry about that. It's crazy to me that like the way we decided to handle this was Punk was like, if you want to come talk to me, come talk to me. And then Punk was like, I don't want to talk to nobody, so I'm just going to close this door and leave it closed, right? And then from there, you kind of have like two sides of the story, right? One person says, my door got kicked in, and then the other person says, it kind of got opened, and we just walked in. So, I don't know. It's weird, but at the end of the day, man, like, you got to clean up all the toxicity that you got going on in AEW, so that way your company can continue to flourish. Because you're right, because at the end of the day, you don't want it to be tailed off at the end of like what WCW was right before it just kind of fell apart.
Well, like you said, you got EVPs, people that are in charge, acting like children. Like, why would you go into the locker room? I don't care if you were trying to save your manhood or not. The point being is, you are an executive vice president. You should have let this man cool down and handle it on Wednesday before the show even started and had a sit-down talk. Could have went to Tony Khan after the media scrum and be like, yo, are you really going to let him talk sideways like this? Like, we need to iron this out. But no, they wanted to try to put on their big boy panties and like go in. Like, they should have known. They should have known that this was going to get heated. Yeah. It's fucking Phil Brooks.
Well, we know the other part that throws me off, it's like, yo, like Tony, when the first thing I talked about with Adam, you didn't nip it like you said, right? You didn't nip it right away. And then when you have the Jacksons going out like talking out loud with everybody talking about what's going on in the locker room, you didn't nip that, right? Then once things got to be so toxic, then you decide to have this meeting, right? After everything happens, now you have a meeting and you're like, hey, like, don't leak stuff out to, you have to have a meeting to tell people don't leak stuff out to
that's
these guys.
That's where I'm like, I have like a problem with like so here's the thing. My take on it is this. I think the punishment was enough. I think it's fine because I look at it like this. Despite our like personal feelings towards CM Punk, the Bucks, Kenny Omega, like I could care less about them. I really could. Like as far as a personal thing and all that. Like but their draws. That's their money. Like it's all elite wrestling.
No. Punk is the draw. All elite wrestling isn't. I see the drop in viewerships when Kenny made his return.
I get that.
He froze again.
Yeah. Back to the Speed Force he goes.
I see I'm back now. Okay, cool. So all elite wrestling, all right? What's that middle word?
It's elite. You're right.
Elite. What is all elite wrestling without the elite? We have yet to I walked into that one.
You did.
I'm not mad at you for that. I walked into that. But my point being that we've yet to see what that legitimately looks like. But that's the draw. Like they're the reason why this thing is the AEW is a thing. It is because of the elite. Like that's their money. Getting rid of them completely, I think, as far as a business standpoint, is probably the stupidest thing you can do. Like, I look at it like this: fights are going to happen. People don't always see eye to eye. That's just life. And I'm also on the lines of, hey, this is fucking wrestling, okay? Like if you're gonna fight, let's fight. But I also at the same point, I'm like, you got your EVPs. If the Bucks and Kenny were not EVPs, I think we have the situation wouldn't be as big as it is.
That's facts.
Like, I think it's just, they're wrestlers beefing because somebody said some shit that's not true. Oh, that's a typical week in wrestling. Like I can tell you 10 indie wrestlers that'll say, hey, yeah, I heard that this person talked trash about me, this, that, and the third, and all that. That's what happens. Like, when you got a bunch of egos and a bunch of testosterone in one room and you're all trying to be the best, like that happens. So I think it's not really the fight per se. I think what bothers me. I think it's the fact that, and this low key sounds like I'm on the side of Punk, but if you are an EVP and you're, first of all, if you're a wrestler, period, talking to dirt sheets to leak out information, you're a cornball in the first place.
No, facts.
Like whether the Bucks or Hangman or Kenny did it or not, or any wrestler, period, especially if you're on that high echelon, if you're on Impact, AEW, if you're in those top 3 companies and you're leaking stuff to the dirt sheets, you're a cornball. And like you really are, and you're a mark. And I know that word gets thrown a lot now, so people don't really know what it means. But that you're a mark. You're a mark and you're a cornball. That's number one. Like number 2,
you're not a mark. You're just an asshole.
No, dude, not yet. Not yet. If you're going to the dirt sheets and leaking false stuff, then you become the asshole because now you're putting out lies about people, and we all know how stuff travels with wrestling Twitter. Like wrestling Twitter gets a hold of one thing, and boom, 5 minutes later, you got like half the country talking about, with 15 different million opinions on it. So that's when you become the asshole because you're spreading lies, and that's the problem. And I think that's the thing, is you're spreading lies. CM Punk should not, and he's right to this standpoint, he should not have to deal with anything regarding Colt Cabana, period, in 2022.
Exactly.
Period.
And in that situation,
not
in 2015.
Yes, that was legitimately 6-7 years ago. So I get where Punk is coming from, because Punk has every right to be pissed off. Like a lot of people want to be like, "Oh, Punk's this. You saw how his attitude in WWE." No. Him being mad in WWE is a whole different reason than him being mad at Colt Cabana and them spreading lies about Colt Cabana. He had nothing to do with Colt Cabana not being on Dynamite. Okay, he had nothing to do with that. He has come out to say it. Tony Khan has come out to say it. Whether it is true or not, that is none of anybody's business. It ain't. Whether it's true or not. Both parties have said that it has nothing to do with each other. That should have been it, and it should not have been a thing. That goes back to Damien saying that, Tony Khan should have nipped it in the bud right then and there.
But he said that at the conference too. Like he did say that at a conference. If you listen to the conference, like he did say, like he did say,
after the fact.
Well, no, because like to be real, right? And to kind of open it up, right? So Punk like addressed it. Somebody asked the question, and then Khan said it, right? He's like, I should have handled this right off the jump. And then Punk mowed him over, which, by the way, like, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But he mowed him over and was like, that's not your responsibility, blah, 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 blah. That's not how it's handled. Da, 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 Tony, blah, 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 blah. Regardless, Tony, at the end of the day, he's the financer, right? It's his money. Like, he's the top dude. It should have just been, hey, yo, I said enough. And if you have a problem with it, there's a door.
But he ain't going to do that, though. That's the thing. That's the problem. The problem is he wants to be everybody's fucking friend. And in wrestling, you cannot be everybody's friend. This is why Vince McMahon was so fucking successful. Yeah. This is why that man made billions of dollars.
And another thing with press conferences, and you got to treat it like how sports media does.
Exactly.
At these NBA and these NFL press conferences, you have to let these people know that we are, for example, and I promise you, Kevin Durant, and I only say Kevin Durant because I saw somebody say that CM Punk was like the wrestling version of Kevin Durant, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. But I'm gonna use this example. Kevin Durant, when he goes to his media press conferences, I'm not gonna use Kevin. I'm gonna use Kyrie. That's a better example. Kyrie Irving, when he goes to some of these media conferences, he probably has a PR person that tells these reporters and stuff that, hey, Kyrie is not talking about COVID. He's not talking about, Steve Nash. He's not talking about trades and whatnot. He's talking about this, that, and this. If you want to talk about that, then you're not doing that. That's what Tony has to do. But here's the thing: he's not gonna do it because guess what? These people at these wrestling media scrums are freaking wrestling journalists, whatever the fuck that is. They're not. There are people on Twitter. It's wrestling Twitter. I follow half the people that were there at the media scrum, which was crazy when I'm going through my timeline and I'm like, Punk just said this. I'm like, why are all of you there in Chicago? Like, they're not actual journalists. Like, some of them are. I'll give them credit. Some of them are. Some are. Like, I know Dave was there, but Dave was.
Sean Ross Sapp was there.
Sean Ross Sapp was there and whatnot. But like, the people there, like, you got to treat it like an actual sports press conference. You need to tell these dorks and nerds that this is what we're asking about. This is what we're talking about. We're not going to talk about this, and this. Because I promise you do that, right?
Here's the other problem I have.
These media scrums wouldn't have so many issues coming out of them because if you notice, half the time they do them, there's always. That's true because they got to get through everybody because the card is long, so they got to get through all the rest.
Look what WWE did.
Here's another issue, right? And now we're kind of letting some things kind of slide, but we're not really talking about these kind of things. Like, Punk is 40 fucking years old, right? He's over 40 years old, and not even just that, right? The guys that he's talking about are 30 plus years old men, right? And they're grown men sitting in the back getting into an argument. But my point, this is the point I wanted to bring up. You brought it up, right? That these, we'll call it wrestling journalists, right? Some of them, right?
That's what you want to call them.
Punk is out here just going off, right? Like, the lack of professionalism that came from that junket, because at the end of the day, one of the questions asked was from like a 12-year-old kid. Like, you mean to tell me that CM Punk is going to sit up here and be like, hey, and for all of you guys that are spreading that out there, fuck you. And for those of you that don't, I apologize. Bro, that kid is right there. Who knows how old that kid is, right? I don't remember. He could have been 15 for all I care, but he could have been 8. You also have other kids that are watching this too, man. Like, you yourself have to also mentally pull yourself back. Yes, you're heated. Yes, you're upset. Yes, I get it that these guys have been lying on your name, but you are not doing yourself any favors when you throw professionalism out the window.
Now, was he wrong in doing that? A little bit, but see, at the end of the day, I know what I would have done, and I would have done the same thing. However, though, I would have also said that shit to their faces, point blank in general first. And then you also got to remember that question about that situation was asked to him from jump before that man even sat down. And that's why he went the fuck off.
But still, at the same time, you got to take that deep breath, because you got to remember, at the end of the day, what is it called? Professional wrestling, right? You've got to be able to sit down, take a deep breath, pull yourself out of that situation, and then answer the question. Because think about it, right? Punk had just got done wrestling. The show had probably been over for probably like a good 20 minutes, right? Those players and stuff in the NBA and in the NFL, like, they all get media training. And maybe that might be something that Tony Khan wants to look into, is to get someone who's professionally is a media trainer, right? To get these guys psychologically ready for any kind of question that's going to be coming, to just kind of like press out and push out, right? A PR team is definitely going to be tops, right? Get them into the junkets and be like, hey, here's the questions that we're going to ask. And then from there, you have a person who literally sits with all the wrestlers who they know are going up for sure, right? And you just say, hey, these might be questions that get asked. Here, I need you to pull yourself out of the situation. Think about the things that you're saying, and then, attack. Don't go off the cuff, because we don't know. We could lose sponsors, right? It could cost us at the end, but we just need you to make sure we keep our P's and Q's on point.
Yeah. All right, Damien, give me your final thoughts.
Well, look, at the end of the day, it should have been handled better. At the end of the day, all the blame lies on Tony Khan, point blank in general. Nigga should have known better.
Alrighty. All right, cool. This is listen. They're gonna be. We'll probably still be talking about this week. As more stuff gets revealed and leaked, because that's how we find out about things. So this is listen, I will say this has been the greatest discourse in professional wrestling in the last 10 years. So I think we lost Damien. I think maybe his phone died or something.
Yeah, so
but he'll pop back in. So all right, we're gonna keep on. We're moving on because we're already at our 40-minute mark.
First topic.
Only at the first topic. All right, temp check, Cliff. Temp check. So, if those of you don't know, temp check, you are going to hear from us whether we have the hottest and or the coldest wrestler heading into this week, September the 11th, 2022. So, temp check. Cliff, what you got for me?
All right, so let's go with coldest wrestler of the week. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't care what people are gonna say to me about this, but Darby Allin is definitely on my coldest wrestler of the week, and it's not because because he did win, right? Let's be real, at All Out, but he's just kind of been faded out. Like he's just really not a presence anymore. You know what I mean? Like he used to be. Like when they talked about the 4 pillars, like they mentioned Darby's name, and now like so much, he's just kind of like fade off to the back, and I don't know why, and nor do I like it either because
it's not a problem with me.
Yeah, but
I ain't got not seeing Darby Allin.
Let's talk about the hottest wrestler. Actually, let's not even call it wrestlers of the week, and I think their catchphrase starts with "Listen," and then you get some crazy ass rap lyrics because the Acclaim are definitely going to be my hottest.
Scissor me, daddy dog. I've been waiting all week to say that. Scissor me, daddy dog. Oh man, I'm so happy Damien did not see that.
He probably did now.
Oh man, he's back.
Nope, not yet.
Oh man. All right, cool. Coldest wrestler of the week, Sean Spears. Enough said. My hottest wrestler going into this week. So this was hard. I've been thinking about it all day. I still have like 2 names I'm debating on, but all right, so I'm either going with Jon Moxley or the devil himself, MJF. Listen, it's either one of those two. Mox cutting his promo to rally the troops kind of really got things going as far as the tone of the show, and really, I guess, in a sense, set the flag down, saying that, hey, yeah, we know what's going on, but listen, this is what we're here. This is what we're going to do. MJF, but winning the ladder match, coming out in Buffalo, having the crowd legitimately in the palm of his hand. MJF came out, the Buffalo erupted, okay? Buffalo was on fire. And as they should be. I was on fire for MJF when he came out. Comes out, he is all smiles, he's hyped. He's got his Josh Allen jersey on. He's high-fiving Shivani. God, man, like he had them in his hand just to throw them out the window and for him to turn on them It's just things that MJF does with the crowd is like magic, man. It's legit. It's magic because he had Buffalo and they were hot. They were like MJF. They were chanting his stuff. He took that jersey off, wiped his ass with it. I said, "That's that." I love it. I love it. So, yeah, MJF is gonna be my hottest wrestler going into the week. Jericho said it in the media scrum, and it's facts. MJF legitimately is on the cups of being one of the biggest baby faces in pro wrestling. Period. It's wild to say that, and like. But it's bound to happen. Yeah, man. MJF. Damien, who you got? Temp check.
Hottest wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm
Cliff,
gonna give it to
Cliff said the Acclaimed.
the Acclaim. Oh no,
Scissor me, daddy dog.
I'm gonna be a dick about this.
For the hottest wrestler? Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of shade actually. The Elite and Punk.
I knew.
Man, knock it though, man. Like that's not facts.
Is you're not you're not telling lies.
They were. If you really think about
Going
it,
into this, I mean, yeah. And they
I was gonna say Gunther because I enjoyed him and Sheamus's match.
oh yeah, man.
But
Yeah,
nah, I gotta go with the Elite and Punk.
That's funny. That's funny. You got a coldest wrestler?
Yeah, them too.
I like it.
They got their dumbasses suspended.
Oh, jeez. No. I wasn't ready for that one. I had to you was
so much facts. So much facts in that statement.
Oh, man. That was awesome. All right, let's go. Match of the week. All right, match of the week. So we didn't have a show last Sunday. Yeah, I was dead. So we'll have Clash of the Champions. So we'll get an extra week to for contention. Did I fuck you up, Cliff, with that?
Oh yeah, because I was like, I had my match of the week, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was like, but I can't include Clash of the Castle because that was last week. So
Yeah,
now I have two matches. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I feel like because we did not get to talk about Clash at the Castle last week as much as we could have. So this guy, these guys, that guy. Yeah, I might as well. We might as well just let's add Clash of the I keep calling it Clash of the Champions.
I know because it makes you feel like you want to say that.
I've been saying, but the bad thing about it is I've been saying that to the build-up of this show. Even while I'm watching the show, I think I was on my phone with my mom. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching Clash of the Champions. So, all right, match of the week. We will include Clash at the Castle. So
that's my match of the week. Gunther and Sheamus.
Gunther and Sheamus is your match of the week?
From last week.
Okay. What about you, Cliff? What you got?
Hold on, I keep getting all these like stuff dropped into me. Go ahead and just give your match of the week, and then I've already got my two.
My match of the week is coming from NXT.
Okay.
I have not watched NXT in a long time.
Right.
But when you tell me that you're gonna give me Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes,
that was good. That was really good. That was really, really good. I enjoyed the fuck out of that match.
That was my match of the week, and I didn't even see them lock up yet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, they killed it.
They announced
it.
Last Tuesday, when they said that was gonna happen, I said, "Oh, I got my match of the week." That is the only reason I was tuning in for that show, was for that one match. I don't watch NXT. I just don't. But I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this, and it opened, so I didn't have to watch the rest of the show.
Yeah,
The main event was good.
But I did. The main event was good. Tyler Bate and Braun Breaker was good. I will say that it was good. I did watch the whole show, guys. I didn't just cut it off. I didn't do that. But Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes is my match of the week. Those two brothers threw down. And I don't care what anyone says. That match was better than anything the rest of that Sunday.
Yeah,
I can't.
I'm
not going to argue with you on that one.
And I'm not saying that to be, to give that NXT takeover. No. I enjoyed AEW. Okay, I enjoyed the trios match. For what it was. I enjoyed it, but
did he go back into Speed Force?
I think he did. So while he's paused, I actually fell asleep on All Out for like 2 hours and woke up and the shit was still going.
Yeah, it was a long show. But go on, Chaz. Finish what you were gonna say since you just like.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, even though Jericho and Bryan Danielson was a really good match and probably one of the better matches of All Out,
it was.
Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet, Uncle Ricocket. Gotta bring it back. Gotta bring that back. Uncle Ricocket. They killed it.
All right. So
guess what? Anthony Lujan is garbage since he left the 3 Count podcast.
Hey,
you know what, Lou? I agree with you, buddy.
Let me put my So actually, the funny thing is Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes is actually my number 3 match of the week that I would have considered. Yeah, number 3, because number 2, right? This was before you told me that Clash at the Castle counted, right? My match of the week originally was Swerve in Our Glory versus
The Acclaimed.
Okay. Yeah. That was a hot so fire.
It was.
And then we're like, oh, hey, let's go ahead throw Clash at the Castle. And I was like, well, obviously, Sheamus versus Gunther was such a great match. I had so much fun watching these dudes. So, yeah, that's why Ricochet got bumped to 3. Because originally it was 2. And I was like,
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with you on that one. Like, Gunther and Sheamus, like, literally from beginning, from the entrances to the finish. Perfect.
Yeah, man,
like,
that was
great.
So good. Right. It was so good. And it's good to see Sheamus getting his flowers. Like having that UK crowd really give it, because I'll come back just for you, chat.
Chastity. Yes, you, Chaz Chastity. Wow. Hey, Damien, there's a question that specifically is coming in for you. This was so those trying to figure it out, it says, why is the bottom dude in a car? It's a little disrespectful to the audience.
Man, fuck y'all.
Oh, I knew he was gonna say that.
All right, I'm in a fucking car because I'm enjoying the outside. Eat a dick. And if you got a problem, like Punk said, come see me, nigga.
We did have a question earlier too that I wanted to bring back up too, and I wanted to get you guys' opinions too. So Tim writes in this question right here, and I'll read out for our members. Right, thoughts on who will face Bianca Belair tomorrow in the Open Challenge, and who faces Gargano too? I say Gable, and then for Bianca, I also say Carmella or Bliss. Either one of those. Like I want Bliss versus Bianca because that will be a fly-ass match. And then good. Secondly, for Gargano, it's gotta be Theory. Like I just feel like
do you do that yet though?
Why not?
That's the thing. I don't know, because it has so much potential to be a good storyline for Theory. So like,
because
get that away right away. Right?
I see what he did there. Ha! I see what he switched the words around so he wouldn't get smart man. Smart man, Facebook, because he's on Facebook and Facebook be playing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
So I see what he did there. For Bianca, why not Naomi?
Why not Bianca? Yeah, why not Sasha?
I don't, and the reason I say not Sasha because that's a WrestleMania rematch. Why not get don't get that on Raw? Give me we can build that up for real. But I would it's one of the two, one of those two ladies definitely. It could be Sasha or Naomi, but I think one of them comes back Monday to face Bianca. To face Gargano, it's a toss up. It could be anybody. I can't really think of one specific name on who it could be, but it could be anybody.
For me, I guess for Gargano, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him in Ciampa.
Oh wow! You know what?
I
didn't
mean,
even think of that. Now that you mentioned that, because he's definitely with Miz, so it's like, yeah, why not?
Like, I could dig that just for him to come back and like it don't got to be long either. Like they don't have to go all out. Like they can legit.
But they see that here's the thing, and I feel like I know how Hunter thinks. That'd be the match. That's that match you put in the middle of in that second hour.
Yeah.
That does go long is this match. That's what you do.
Could. Then that's what you could.
You know what? Now it might be Ciampa. It might be Ciampa.
And then
it might be you can do a whole thing with Dexter and Miz and Call. Oh yeah, that's yeah. There you go, Damon. That's what's happening. It's Ciampa.
And my guess for me,
word. Hey yo, let's keep going because you're gonna get me started. Let's keep going.
Don't worry.
Really?
Don't worry, because it gets better. It gets better for those who just don't know. It gets better. He said the white dude just a little gay, yeah. So we have a response for those kind of people. It makes perfect sense, and then we just ignore the shit out of you.
I'm sorry, man. I'll find out who 100% true is.
What?
I always find my man. Yeah, I will find you. I might be in Utah, but don't mean I can't fly to where you at, nigga.
It don't even matter, man. I just blocked all of his comments, so
that's all right. You know what though? Like I said, I will find out who that nigga is. I ain't like CM Punk, yo. You come up missing.
All right, let's move on to
but Bianca.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't even give it for the women.
Shit.
Guy got us all flustered.
Yeah, he did. I have to agree with you. Like Sasha and Naomi would be hot. That'd be fire. Like either one of them. Realistically though, isn't like Becky like almost cleared or is ready to come back?
That's a good question. I don't know.
We're close to.
I think they said like her recovery is come back really quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
it could be.
I mean, that right there. And just have it into the interrupted by damage control or whatever the hell they're called. And then there you go. You can resume what you did at WrestleMania.
About that comment, said no one. There we go. Moving on. All right, second debate topic. All right. PWI 500. Everyone knows the PWI 500 is a list that Pro Wrestling Illustrated does every year, encapsulating the 500 best wrestlers of the year. The period goes from July 1st to June 30th. So that's your time span. And it comes out this Wednesday digitally. So digitally, the PWI 500 issue comes out digitally. I think next month it'll be out in newsstands and everything. So for the print. So we're going to debate, okay, who is getting that coveted number one spot. All right. So is Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, number one? That's the debate topic. We're debating if Roman Reigns is the number one for the PWI 500. All right, Cliff, go ahead.
I mean, if it's not Roman, maybe Will, but Ospreay. But yeah, it is.
Oh, you're disrespectful. You're disrespectful.
It's
no, you did not just say. You
definitely-
did not just say Will Ospreay. No,
I
you
did.
didn't.
100%. I did. Have you not seen how that man's done this year?
No,
Like
absolutely
all of his
not.
matches he's done
Absolutely
in the last year.
Absolutely
No, you
not.
chill out.
No.
Now you
No,
wilding out.
not one. Not no.
Yeah, now you
No.
wilding out.
I'm not putting Ospreay in the top 5. I get to the top 10.
Somebody
top 10.
else will.
But
It's
yeah,
not,
but
it's not Chaz's Wrestling Illustrated. It's you don't make the list.
No, bro.
You can
It's
make
the
your
fact
own
that you
list
really
and not put them in there. But yeah,
no,
no,
bro, no. Ospreay, you know,
Ospreay
over Reigns.
I said if not. I didn't say that. I said if not him. All right.
That's I mean, essentially, you're saying Ospreay.
If not Roman, it's got to be Ospreay.
No.
And if not Ospreay, I mean, Rollins is also doing great work too this year. So
I'd rather you say that's better. Rollins, bro. This man said Ospreay. Get the fuck out of here.
I can't wait for the PWI to drop and Ospreay be in the top 5 just so you could be like, I'm never reading this magazine again. Even if they read it to begin with. Even if they put me in the 500, I'm never reading this magazine again. This dude, by the way, I just want to put this out there, right? Chaz and I legitimately had this conversation. Everybody knows on this podcast that we are workers. We have been submitted for the PWI. Chaz legitimately told me, I'm not putting myself in because I don't feel like I've done enough this last year. And then right before we go on the air, this man said, I may have put myself in the PW 500.
I kind of had business out there like that. If Roman ain't number one,
I want the legitimate. I want a shoot response and a shoot look from Chaz about it.
Wait, as far as me?
Yeah.
Being in the PWI? Listen, man, I'm not in that joint.
Yeah, but you was like, nah, I didn't do it. Yeah. But you were like so adamant on all of it. That's what made me laugh. I was like, yo, wait, what? Oh, and then I think Chaz went to the Speed Force.
Actually, you went to the Speed Force this time. It was you. I was fine. You went to the Speed Force, but it's like I still don't think I did enough. I don't. I mean, my one CW title championship counts in the what you call it the in the evaluation period because it's like 5 days before. But even then, I'm like, I haven't done enough. So I
thought it was funny that you told me so long that you weren't gonna put yourself in.
Because I wasn't, man. I'm just like, why am I wasting my fingers and my energy? I know I'm not in it. Like, have I been on some big shows? Yeah. I still had the hottest match that's not talked about on Fight Pro Wrestling and Grab It Over Your Trust. I don't care what anyone says. That 8 minutes was the most fire 8 minutes of that whole show. Now that's not me bragging. That's me being brutally honest, man. I had an 8 minute classic with Eric Royal. Simple match, but it was fire. But they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that stuff. I'm they'll talk about the opening match and they'll talk about the main event and everything else. But my match that was like smack dead in the middle of the second half, ain't nobody care about that, even though it was probably the most banger thing they've seen. But man, so is Roman Reigns number 1, right? No, he's not. As much as Roman Reigns is my tribal chief, and I do acknowledge my tribal chief, he is not number 1. And I say this on the merit of that wrestling this year would not be as hot as it is without Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins deserves undoubtedly that number 1 spot. You cannot tell me from last year of 2021, of July of 2021 to June of this year, that Seth Rollins was not putting on bangers. And I mean bangers. He was putting on bangers, not just on your pay-per-view, I'm sorry, your premium live events. And make sure I say that for WWE. Your premium live events, not just on those shows, but he was putting on bangers damn near every Monday night. Seth Rollins is the best wrestler in the world. Seth Rollins is number one, not Roman Reigns. In all respect to the Tribal Chief, but the Tribal Chief is on his. He's on his what you call it? He's on his part time. Chaz rigs this podcast like someone who is the NCW.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna say it.
Oh, I came back for just in time to see that. Oh, that was kind of low.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
I don't know anybody who is part of Nebraska Championship Wrestling. I've never heard of that promotion.
Oh, there you go. That's right. Safe face, because you work there. Safe face because you work there. They won't hire me.
Listen, it's just hey, I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Anyway.
They won't.
Nevada Championship Wrestling.
Nitrous Championship Wrestling. Oop, I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, Seth Rollins, man. Seth Rollins has been putting on bangers. Like I said, it's just the stuff that Seth is doing, whether it's the stuff that when he was facing Roman, the stuff with Riddle, the stuff with Cody. It's hard for me to sit and think that you don't put Seth number one. You can put Roman 2, Mox 3, Punk 3, whatever, but that number one spot goes to Rollins. You want to talk about consistency? It's Rollins, man. Like I said, I acknowledge my Tribal Chief. All right, that is the man that sits at the head of the table. Okay, but Seth is the architect. He's Seth freaking Rollins, and there's nobody who's more consistent than Seth. At least this past year. Adam Page is going to be number 12. That's a random call.
That is random. All right, I gotta disagree with you, buddy. I gotta switch those.
You're going with Roman too?
Yeah. Well, it's all right. No, I don't disagree with what you're saying. Like if he's not number one, it better be Seth. However, I just think it's going to be the other way around. And it's just because of, even though, Roman's not on the show all the time anymore, it's still, I don't know, he's just been doing amazing things. Point blank in general. Even though he's not there, his presence is always felt.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you on that. That SmackDown alone, let's pass week on SmackDown. It was like, where Roman's not there, but it sure as hell feel like he fucking shit up.
Right? So that's why I think,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, is this better scenery? I'm not in the car anymore.
Who cares? That guy, we don't know. That guy.
We blocked that dude. We don't want to buy him.
Anyway. Go check the YouTube comments on when it like.
Oh no, he's blocked out. Like it's.
Oh, like legit.
Blocked out.
Legit. Okay.
All right, so I know we didn't talk about this, but the 100, I think it's the 100 tag teams are going to be up soon, right? So they're going to do they're doing 150 women.
I thought
100 tag teams.
I thought it was 150 tag team and 150.
Maybe
women.
It's 150 tag team. I don't remember. Anyway, we know that the tag team one's coming up. Let's just make the early predictions now.
FTR
Who is number one.
FTR. That's who I'm picking. That the hands down. Seriously, who?
Pure ignorance.
I love you
You're
guys.
not gonna be number one. I'm sorry, bro.
I love you guys. Look, I hope y'all are in the top 150. I hope you're in the top 150. I would love if y'all are in the top 50. Point blank in general. But number one, FTR got y'all beat. Sorry, buddy.
Yep. FTR can see me with the hands.
And you know what? I would come back to see that match. I will go anywhere y'all go to have that match, and I will come out and be in your corner.
All right, let's see here. Geez, there's so many. See, I watch so much tag team wrestling now, and I have.
I'm gonna be honest. Me, it's gonna be the Usos.
So I'm
was
trying to
gonna say them
avoid
too.
saying the Usos and FTR, even though one of those is more than likely going to take that number one spot. I'm just thinking like who else it could possibly be, because I think give or take, anytime you mention the top tag team, you're gonna throw out your FTR, you're gonna throw out the Usos. Those are the you're for sure that you're gonna get those names. I'm going to say
Who?
I'm gonna say the Acclaimed.
As the top, no, get
No,
out. You know what,
no,
man? You might as well get blocked
no.
right now for that.
No.
Are you serious?
No.
The top tag team of the year,
No.
this last year, this same time period that we're talking right now, you
They haven't
mean to
done
tell me
enough.
the Acclaimed over FTR? Bro, they're not even the best tag team in their promotion. Like, let alone the world. Top
You might as
five?
well say
Top
Dominic
five?
and Rey
Maybe you
Mysterio.
can make an argument. Sheesh.
Sorry, guys, I don't mean to shit on you like that, but I'm just trying to make a point.
I cannot believe that you were like, oh, looky here. The Acclaimed top team.
So yeah. RK Bro was my next one, but
I could legit have, like, I could definitely rock with that one.
we could rock. Okay,
Yeah, better than the Acclaim.
better than Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Silly me, daddy dog.
But I
they
think
been
I'm going to
entertaining?
say-
Yes.
I'm gonna say that at a show, and I'm gonna
Now,
get
if they
copyrighted
do
now.
it, look. Now,
Silly me, daddy dog.
we're doing it this week.
Yes, we are. we do team up this week. I just forgot. Yes.
all right, you got to send me the clip.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You got to send me the clip.
I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna get right at the Roman camp. Be like, scissor me, daddy dog.
But I think so. Here's the crazy part, right? So if outside of FTR and the Usos, yeah, I would definitely have to lean towards like RK Bro would definitely be next, and then the Good Brothers, and of course the Briscoes. Like, we just like two teams that we're just not talking about. So I'm like, that's my lean.
I got beef with the Briscoes.
Was that?
I got heat with the Briscoes.
I mean, that's
Oh,
fine.
I love the Briscoes though.
Listen, man, I want to fight them.
No, they're not top 5 in their own company.
No, they claim no. Anthony, I wasn't serious, bro. I wasn't serious.
He was 100% serious until he got called out. And he was just like, "Hey,
I really wasn't.
sorry,
but
sorry.
I really wasn't. I wasn't.
I'm gonna kill this
what
can
you
win
got
and
there?
kill this
Who
whole
you
entire
really got
life, and
there?
afterwards he's gonna be like, I was totally being serious, guys.
I wasn't. I wasn't.
All right,
But
who you
yeah,
got then?
I'm gonna go. Honestly, I'm gonna stick with RK Bro.
Alright.
They
did
for
do
the,
a lot.
for the like I said that the year, RK Bro was one of the more entertaining teams. And like and just always like we always talk about when we mention RK Bro, it wasn't supposed to work.
No, but they made it work though.
Exactly, and so it's like, and I think that gives them a lot of more. I guess gives them that extra push. Hate.
And then
Back
he
to the
put it
speak.
again.
Yo, you know what I love about RK Bro is they still have my
Do you use that
favorite
term?
line. RK Bro has my favorite line of the year, 100%. Right? Is when Riddle was looking at
Oh, I know
Orton.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he's like, Orton was like, we don't have anything in common, and Riddle's like, we're both from Earth. It's like, yo, like, that's the greatest thing. I still use that to this day. I remember like the other day we were one of my coworkers was like, dude, we have nothing in common. It's like, we both work at this company, at this place, in our state, in this city, in our state, on planet Earth, on the Milky Way galaxy. We have a lot in common. And they were just like, I'm completely astounded by your stupidityness.
Gotta love Riddle.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well,
All right, here we
Matt.
go. Here we go. This is my favorite part of the podcast. All right, this or that. So, for those who don't know what this or that is, Cliff is going to give us a topic, and we have to choose one or the other, and that's it. Mind you, we do not know about what this topic is or the question of this or that. We don't know beforehand, like we know our debate topic. So this is straight off the dome, straight off the cuff, and live. So, Cliff, here we go. This or that. Oh, I get nervous because it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
So, all right. So we've talked about like greatest characters of like all time, right? It's gone through different phases. What makes them great, right? So I was thinking we're gonna go ahead and take one, The Undertaker, or two, Triple H.
All right. Give me, gotta give me a couple minutes to think on it. Gotta get a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
settle my thoughts. So if you want to bring the chat up and and interact with our fans.
Yeah, so FTR runs away with that spot. By the way, FTR does not run away with that spot because the Usos are still around. So yeah, that's not a thing.
It's a toss-up between the two.
Undertaker.
See, I was gonna choose. I had my choice until you said Triple H.
See, that's what I was saying too. He said Undertaker, and I'm like, I'm not the Undertaker. Like, fuck. I assumed he was gonna go Sting. I was like, Taker or Sting. I'm like, all right, yeah. Now this man said Triple H. Oh god.
Right.
No.
The current guy that's kind of running the
guy that got me watching Monday Night Raw again. Like, what? Every time someone tells me about like, oh man, Triple H doing really good. Triple H doing like, I'm like, dude, this man got me watching Monday Night Raw. I watch Raw now a month and a half. All right, weekly again. I've not missed the Raw since Triple H has been in charge. I have not missed.
It's gotten better. It's getting better every week.
All right,
I
got my pick. I got my pick.
All right.
I'm gonna go with The Undertaker, and which is crazy. But this is why I'm going with Undertaker. I'm going with Undertaker because Undertaker was able to keep that character alive for 30 years. You got to look at it like you look at Undertaker. Yeah, he changed really throughout, those 30 years. He wasn't always the rest in peace, the supernatural type of thing. He was the biker dude that, for that time. But it was a gamble to just do that, and that worked. But I think it was an even bigger gamble to say, hey, we're going to go back to that. And that's what we're looking at. That was 2004, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So it's 2004 when he came back being the Phenom. So, and it worked. And it worked up until, 2020. So I gotta give the rub to Taker, man, because he kept that character alive, and he stayed true to it. That man didn't do no interviews when he was the supernatural guy. He didn't do no interviews. He wore black. People, listen. There's a generation of kids, well, not kids, but a generation of adults now. Let me say that, of adults who still to this day think Undertaker and Kane are brothers.
This is true. This is very true.
They're like, I have grown men telling me, yeah, man, Undertaker and Kane, yeah, those are my favorite. I know they're brothers, right? And I go, they're not brothers in real life. And he goes, what? No way. Like, yeah, like
you mean tell me mean Mark and the Yankovic?
The Yankovic, yeah. Brothers, yeah.
Dr. Isaac Yankovic.
So I got to give it to Taker, and that's not to say Triple H isn't isn't to say Triple H isn't GOAT status. Like he's not up there, but that's another thing. I think like Hunter did a lot too. Hunter saved WWE on numerous occasions. To credit what Anthony was saying in the comment, like the man. Listen, if anything, WWE owes Triple H because not only
a lot of shit.
He's exactly. So it's not to take away
shit because that man is now the chief content. He's the VP of creative content. I don't want to hear nothing about what they owe him. This man is outside of being the CEO of the company. This man is as good as it gets. He's at the highest point he can get to currently, unless his wife is like, you know what, I'm gonna step down. Hunter will be the CEO. WWE owes him nothing.
I mean, granted, I'm going with Undertaker too.
It's hard, man. Like, I think when you sit and really think about it, you gotta choose Taker. Like, really, like when you really think about it, like when you sit back, like at first thought, if you don't sit and think about it, I can see why people can go Triple H. You know, like off of like not like a real deep thought on it. Like you think about it a little bit, you might still pick Triple H, but like you really sit and think about it, you can't. There's no Triple H without Undertaker.
Sure.
Like there's no Triple H without Undertaker. Period. So yeah, it's Taker. It's Taker.
So okay, I like that we had two people who are taking Taker, right? I am not going to take Taker, right? I'm taking Hunter, right? Because notice I didn't say Hunter Hearst Helmsley, right? I said Triple H, right? Because we knew the game from the moment that when he became Triple H and he was like, I'm the game, like that dude, that's who I'm referring to as far as characters, right? Because that character in itself has grown. Because we can look at Hunter Hearst Helmsley and be like, oh, look at him when he was like the Blue Bloods and he was the prestigious one, right?
I enjoyed that though.
Yeah, it was cool. But you know what? That wasn't the character that really started putting things on the map. And we now still we don't refer to Paul by his name. We legit refer to this man as Triple H. And we know that he's not wrestling anymore. Like he's done. But I think the character growth that we saw in Triple H and the character changes that he's had and he's gotten over with everything, whether he was getting booed or he was getting cheered, and the man continued to get over, right? And we can look at his contributions from like the Authority, Evolution, DX, right? His impact that he had, like working with some of the newer talent to help get them over, right? Obviously, the things that he did with Dave, Batista, as well as Randy, the things that he was learning from Rick, right, when he was in Evolution. Like, there's just like so much stuff that he's done and helped get other people's careers over. Now, I'm not saying that Taker hasn't been that person, right? Not. But what I am saying is that when I look at the career and I look at the impact, I think about one date in particular, right? It was Valentine's Day, right? It was 2011. It was they were getting ready to call out these announcements, right? And the week before, they had just talked about The Rock was going to be the new guest, the guest host of WrestleMania. Okay, so anyway, Undertaker comes out.
The day that they got wrestling got me back.
So Undertaker shows up right on Monday Night Raw, and then he'd been gone for a while, right? And he stands there and he does his thing. He's coming out to Ain't No Grave, right, by Johnny Cash, and he gets to the ring. And then I remember cooking dinner, and all I hear was, "Bah, it's time to play the game." I left the kitchen, right, and I ran into the living room because it's Hunter. I hadn't seen Hunter in a while because obviously he had his quad injuries, right? And there he is staring at the Undertaker, and him. They don't say nothing, right? It's just this promo gets over, and boom, we have a match at WrestleMania. No word said.
Yeah, let's say what promo? There was no word said.
That's what I'm saying. It was just a staring contest between two giants looking at each other. And then you look at Triple H, and you know Undertaker does his like neck thing, and Hunter tells him to suck it, and then the crowd bursts, and then there's fades to black. That was it. That was all it was. But I was so happy to see Hunter that I forgot like how much that man like meant to the business and like his changes, like his character growth. Like I said, right? Clearly, when he, drugged his wife, his wife, he had a massive change in things. Like he obviously showed that he had like a remorseful side to her, right? That he cared about her. When Randy like would hit her by accident and stuff, Triple H would lose his shit, right? I have to look at the way that Hunter did his thing and kept growing as a person in the business as he got older. And then let's be real, three of Undertaker's matches that we talk about, Hunter was a part of, right? Like the end of an era match, right? The Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, like we go all the way, right? We had that match that I was just talking about at WrestleMania in 2011. There's just so much like history with Hunter. It's hard for me not to say that. I do understand when people tell me about Taker because let's be real, that dude was just mysterious. He didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. He just kind of kept to his own. He made like a rare appearance like here and there, right? But it just, for the most part, Undertaker was just a character that no one like wanted to mess with, right? When you thought he died, you thought he died. Yeah. But when I look at Hunter, I'm like, anytime Hunter came back, instant impact. Like you were watching the TV for whenever he came in. So when I look at it, I'm just like, I have to lean this way, but that's where I'm gonna finish it off. I have to lean with Hunter on this one.
No, I like it was like me. I think me and Damon both were saying you can go either or with this. Well, I mean, clearly because it's this or that, but yeah, like I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's funny you mentioned that that under the that promo they did when they were staring. I just remember very vividly because I was like I remember I was at home, watching it, and the ain't no grave that all comes out, and then Triple H, and I just instantly knew. I'm like, oh, they're gonna fight at WrestleMania. I'm like Triple H is gonna end the streak. He's gonna do it for Shawn. Like he's gonna do it for Shawn, like 'cause that's his best friend. I'm like, yes.
Oh no, I lost my shit too when I saw that. I marked out.
Like,
that was epic.
It was, and then you can bring in another Triple H memory. You can ask Damien because it's one of my favorite Randy Orton segments. I've low-key want to recreate it every moment I get. It's when Orton had, when he dropped Stephanie. Legacy had Triple H handcuffed to the ring, and he kissed his wife in front of him. And I still think that is the most badass thing you can do. My man punted his wife. Then he RKO'd her first. Then he punted her after the fact. Then turned her over and then kissed her. And that man Triple H was going off, and he's like flipping, and he's still handcuffed. And it was epic. And then that shot of him, all his hair's down, he's shaking, and he's just you can just that, oh my goodness, Triple H is going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then what did Orton do? Boom, hit him with the with the sledgehammer. And then of course next week we get the infamous beat him up through his Orton's house segment, which is iconic. Which we recreated and had Justin do that to me. Anyway, but yeah, I definitely I definitely get your point where you as far as Triple H. But yeah, all righty. Listen, we are 30 minutes over our allocated time.
Yeah,
it is because that first topic, which I knew was going to happen, went super long.
Look. If Tony had to straighten his shit up, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
You know what? That's true. That's very true. So it's all Tony's fault.
It is.
For my PlayStation users, all right, you guys get a trophy for making it all the way to the end. My Xbox users, you guys get an achievement. It drops, comes down, ding, achievement. Yeah, because it's an hour and a half. So hopefully for my people who got an hour and a half drive to work today, hopefully we maintained your interest throughout this ride to your job. For those of you keeping up with us live, we hope you did not take a nap or fall asleep on us. Thank you for watching. Make sure if you have not already done so, follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. Twitter, 3count_pod, 3countpod on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Twitch channel. Like us on Facebook. Buy a shirt. Pro Wrestling Tees /3countpod. Maybe we'll have a store come out on something else. I don't know. We said What a Maneuver, but I don't think What Maneuver is doing any business anymore.
Out the back of my trunk.
Oh, we're doing business out the back of your trunk?
Hell yeah. We're old school with this.
All right, cool. So if you're on the West Coast and you want to buy a shirt, go to Damien's trunk. Get a shirt, and you might not come out the trunk. So that being said, I'm your host, the Don, Chaz Evans, the Capital Region's best kept secret, here with my homie, the Red Dog of Red Dogs. All right, there you go.
The other way.
Point the other side. Yeah, you got to point that way.
Really?
Use your other hand.
But on mine, funny thing, on mine, it's this way.
Yeah, you're 100% right on your screen, but you're wrong everywhere else. So go ahead and point.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
so that way. That looks even crazier for me. I can't do this. Oh no, we're gonna have to fix this. But okay, yeah, the lamp right there. That's Red Dog because I'm pointing to my lamp. Hey, Red Dog.
I love lamp.
Right there is Damien because if that's Chris.
No, now you got to go down.
Oh really?
Yeah, down.
When I wasn't sure. I wanted to make it okay. Right there is Damien
above me.
Well, I mean, I know that, but if it's opposite, so I just thought, hey, let's.
You're over here. He's over there. Even though technically it's the other way around.
No, it's not.
No, backwards. See, if I did like this, it's pointing at him, but
it is pointing to him. No, you're pointing to him.
No,
Hey, so we're gonna keep talking about this afterwards. You guys know what to do. Tune into the next episode and be there, or you're sharing all of our stuff. You're buying our merchandise.
No, look, you're gonna listen to another episode. Let me put my headset back.
You're gonna pick.
You're gonna listen to another episode
to listen to.
You're gonna listen to it, and then after that episode, right? You're gonna listen to another episode. Actually, no, you're gonna check out an interview. That's what you're gonna do. After that episode, you're gonna check out an interview. Maybe the one with me. Then you'll check out another interview. But don't check out the one that has Jay Bougie or PJ Savage. Fuck them.
Whoa.
Hey guys, it's the host of the 3 Count, Chaz Evans here. Make sure to let you know that I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast. What else did you do? You should also follow us on all social medias. That's the Facebook at 3 Count Podcast, the Instagram at 3 Count Pod, and the Twitter at 3count_pod. Also, if you like us a lot, you should definitely buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod, and that's the number 3. Don't be an idiot and type in THREE because you're not going to find anything. So make sure you follow us at 3countpod or 3count_pod on Twitter and buy a shirt. Be there or be somewhere else.